He started it.
Amazing.
In his clash with the far right over immigration, Elon Musk is now going after the hardliners, the very heart.
Nerds versus jocks discourse in the White House, and Trump hasn't even been sworn in. I know. I love that so much of the modern fascist movement is basically held together by contempt for what they assume is liberalism and like certain minority groups. Like they all got together because they were like, yeah, we hate trans people. Am I right? Yeah. Like black and brown people, and all of a sudden when they're like, hey, by the way, we want to continue hiring other brown people that we can consistently undermine and fill these roles that like at wage prices that Americans are not going to fill these roles in, all of a sudden everyone's like, whoa, amazing.
Of the MAGA base, labeling them just a few hours ago as, quote, contemptible fools who must be removed from the Republican Party root and stem. Musk now finds himself pitted against the likes of Steve Bannon, however, Trump's former White House aide, who came out against Musk's push for H-1B visas, which allow highly skilled foreign workers into the U.S. and has long been the lifeblood of Silicon Valley.
H-1B visas? That's not what it's about. It's about taking American jobs and bringing over essentially what become indentured servants at lower wages. This thing's a scam by the oligarchs in Silicon Valley to basically take jobs from American citizens, give them to what become indentured servants from foreign countries, and then pay them less. Simple. To let him into through the golden door.
Now, Bannon's comments align him with people like the far-right activist Laura Loomer, who has been bashing Musk for days now on this and is even accusing him of censoring her on his own platform. Now, that was after she posted racist messages like this, saying our country was built by white Europeans, actually, not third world invaders.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Stephen Bannon, who worked for Goldman Sachs for most of his career, gives a shit about workers' rights. He's just racist. He's using left populist sentiment about workers' rights in an effort to push for his racist desires. He just wants America to be perfectly white so that everyone looks like Steve Bannon. A grotesque husk, a human skin tag.
I think he's
That's
hot.
it. What did you say? No, go ahead.
I said he was hot.
But all of this began after Trump named Shriram Krishnan, a tech entrepreneur and investor who was born in India, as his senior policy advisor on artificial.
He got Kash Patel in there too, and he got Vivek. That's too many Indians for the racist dude. They're like, what the f are you doing?
And it's culminated today with Elon Musk not backing off of his stance, despite the backlash that he is facing from the MAGA right. Instead, he's writing tonight, anyone of any race, creed, or nationality who came to America and worked like hell to contribute to this country will forever have my respect.
It's gone woke.
Noticeably silent in all of this infighting in his party, the president-elect himself. And CNN senior correspondent Donnie O'Sullivan. And it's great to have you all here. Jonah, I'm sure you've been watching, just like I have, as all of this has been playing out, only, getting worse today with really just seeing these people at each other's throats on lines. What does it say to you?
No, Trump has been silent about this specifically because he knows he wants H-1B visa workers, which he's revealed recently. And he knows that it's just a very unpopular position because his base is so racist. Arun says the silver lining to all this is it'll make Indian Americans stop supporting Republicans as they realize that the people they support don't like them either. I don't think so. Maybe, but I think it's too hopeful. As far as what I've heard from my Indian friends who have immediate older family members that are in the MAGA world, kind of, their resentment for other Indians and the left is far more consequential in the way that they operate than like the broader anti-Indian sentiment being expressed loudly and proudly by the right. At least for some people, I think that they're not going to change course. They're just going to look for like another vector of hate to be like, no, it's still like lower caste Indians and the leftist, the communist Indians they're giving us a bad name. They're giving us a bad rap. That's why these guys like hate us.
It's just going to go back to being something that they try to hide and like obfuscate as much as possible. Didn't Elon just nuke a bunch of super racist far right accounts partially because they were finally stepping against him?
Yeah.
But I think one of the things Elon said in his tweets was basically like, I gave you idiots a platform, blah, 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 which, I mean,
it was Adrian Dittman who said that. We don't know if that's
sorry.
Elon.
Yeah, my
allegedly bad. Elon Musk.
Allegedly Elon Musk, but
decent amount of evidence to suggest that it might be Elon Musk.
So I think it just goes back to isolating them a little bit more so they can't all come out here and pile on the best good rich boy.
I just don't think that the online right was as formative and as important a part of this coalition as like a lot of people think they are. Both on the left and the right, people have a tendency to overemphasize the impact that like a bunch of esoteric Nazi losers have, and I think it directly comes from. I mean, I feel like I'm giving the cheat code here when I say this, but I think even if you were to like push them aside and be like, yeah, you suck, you would not necessarily face a tremendous amount of repercussions. As a matter of fact, it's probably beneficial for you to do such a thing. They're not real movers and shakers.
Yeah, it is remarkable to see this because some people who, have studied Elon Musk for a long time were saying that when this friendship was blossoming, No,
I don't think so. I think even those upper caste idiots will be forced to not support Republicans in the face of direct racism, because the main reason Indians support Republicans is for the tax breaks. I think there will be a come to Jesus moment for some of them. There's a lot of BJP supporters that are actually Democrats. It's so funny. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're a BJP guy and you support the Democrats, because it's like, whoa, dude, it's BDS. I can't believe you did that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you out. I haven't opened a can of Diet Coke. They've just been sitting in my fridge. So apologies for keeping it there.
Oh my God. It's over.
I overreacted. It's my bad. He thought it was something different.
It's over for me, chat.
I am now officially the woke of the day. I can't believe how the turntables, dude. How the turntables, holy shit. In any case, of course they support the Democratic Party.
I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking.
The Democrats are the number one Muslim murder machine. They oversaw the ethnic cleansing of Gaza. Say the line, girl, the boycott. Yeah, girl, the boycott. Anyway.
Inevitably, there are major differences.
Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. My enemy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, a big part of the reason that this advisor in question is being targeted is because he's not white. He's Indian. And, you can just go on to X and see the vitriol around this conversation. I mean, they try and say it's about visas and everything else, but really you do not need to scratch the surface too far just to see the level of racism and hate and just really ugly stuff that's happening on that platform. And that is in part, right, because a lot of the white supremacists and racists and others who had been suspended by Twitter for spreading hate under the previous ownership were all brought back onto the platform under Elon Musk. And so what you're having now is you have people who are also incentivized by the structure put in place in Musk to have these kind of viral posts where they pick on somebody essentially and try to get them to go viral.
And chief among them is Laura Loomer, who, for people who don't, she's not a household name. For people who don't know her, she has pushed conspiracies about 9/11, even though Trump took her to the 9/11 memorial with him. She was on his campaign plane. We saw her getting off of it with him earlier during the 2024 race, not that long ago. She is claiming Musk is censoring her. I heard from people who are opposed to her earlier today saying that's not what's happening here. What did happen with her account?
So, yeah, Loomer has about
critical support for our beautiful queen. Our beautiful queen, Laura Loomer, getting banned off of every tech platform once again.
Speaking truth to power.
Yeah, it's really messed up.
The problem on the Republican side right now, the MAGA Republicans, is they've got three strains. The one strain is sort of the economically anxious, the people who kind of could go either way. They just want lower grocery prices, more affordable housing. They thought Trump might be the guy. You've got these ideologues like Laura Loomer who are sort of culturally anxious, right? They don't want an America that's going to become browner. They're trying to preserve kind of a white Christian heterosexual culture that.
I feel like this is a lot of words to use to just basically not say Nazi.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have the Laura Loomers of the world who are culturally anxious about America becoming a maybe browner nation. It's like, what the
yeah, they're Nazis.
Yeah.
To be clear,
they are
Nazis.
White supremacists.
Yeah.
That's it. CNN won't call a Jewish woman a Nazi, bro. I mean, Stephen Miller is also Jewish. Are we going to act like Stephen Miller, who wrote Donald Trump's white nativist anti-immigrant policies is not a Nazi. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, and Jonah, on that front, we heard from Loomer earlier today saying, still pushing her position. Obviously, as I read just a moment ago, Elon Musk is very much still advocating for his, despite the immense backlash he's been facing. But listen to what Loomer said about what she plans to do with her position on this earlier.
I'm going to escalate it all the way up to President Trump. I'm going to take it to advisors and